Hello everyone, this is RPMzero. In our quarterfinals, we're against Brisking, a blader that I have never played against before. Starting off, I have my Shark Scale 360 kick against his Shark Scale 960 low orb. The goal here is to knock him out or hit him as much as I can to destabilize him in order to win the spin finish. So here, I was able to hit him hard enough in the early game and eventually destabilize his Shark Scale, which allowed me to win the spin finish at this match. Because I was unfamiliar with this player and not knowing his combo or playstyle, I had set my Wizard Rod to be ordered second in order to have a safer early game. And here you can see, luckily he missed launch and then just sent himself straight in the pocket, so that leaves me with a 3-0 early. And last, I had my AeroPegasus 760 rush against something that I do not want to see, the Wizard Rod 160 free ball combo, which is slightly higher in stamina than the Hexa combo, but easier to knock out. So my intention here is to hopefully knock him around, but then not as aggressive that will lead to my own self-extreme or self-pocket. Which I think I did a pretty good job, but then it just wasn't really enough to put him down. So the current score is 3-1 running into the reshuffle. What I'm thinking is, if I put my Wizard Rod first, he's likely gonna run the Wizard Rod that he had, and because he's on free ball, I'm expecting him to outspin me, and because my AeroPegasus failed last round, I'm putting my Shark Scale in first to try to get an attempt to see if I can beat his Wizard Rod on free ball. And on the reveal, I actually guessed it right. He ran his Wizard Rod in free ball, and here I go with my Shark Scale 360 kick with an attempt to knock him out or outspin him. That was a little bit unfortunate. I think my Shark Scale struck pretty good, but then his Wizard Rod, instead of flying out of the extreme pocket, it flew above the stadium and flew through the shroud. So according to the rule, that's actually a relaunch. But I'm still confident enough in my relaunch. So walking into this launch, I just believe I'm gonna do the same thing. But here, I think unfortunately, the stadium was shifted during the launch motion. So not sure if I move the stadium or he moved the stadium, and I think that matters a little bit to the factor. And although the launch doesn't seem to affect that much, but I feel like the timing and the positioning was affected a little bit. As I said, the launch doesn't really matter, but the positioning actually changed. So my Shark Scale actually went below his rod and unfortunately got an extreme by him, so he actually did came back from being 3-0 to 4-3 because nobody really caught that shift in the stadium during the game. So losing to that first set, I get to choose if I want to stay on the same side or switch to the other side. And here, because not knowing him very well, I decided to switch to test his launch on the other side as well. With that previous set, I would like to emphasize this again. No lead in Beyblade is actually large enough to ensure a victory. So if you really want to win, you will have to lock in until the very last moment. So starting off the second set, I led with my AeroPegasus 760 Rush against his Meteor Dragoon 770 level. Because he actually failed his launch on the Meteor Dragoon the first set, I anticipated that he's not able to do a X-side drop launch with a less spin. So I actually did a reverse X to make sure that he kind of wasted a lot of stamina before he can get a good contact with me, which secured my spin finish here. In this second round, I had my Shark Scale 360 kick up against his Wizard Rod 160 free ball, which he scored an extreme finish last set. This round, I launched with a more tilted angle to attempt a burst finish or to destabilize the rod. I'm not sure if it was intentional, but my opponent actually caught most of my attacks with the face of the blade, where kind of didn't allow my Shark Scale to contact with his ratchet. And even though I destabilized him pretty well, as you can see, like, he's all the way tilted, but because he's on free ball, he was still able to preserve enough stamina and then eventually win the spin finish here. So for the third day, I had my Wizard Rod 160 Hexa against Kane's Shark Scale 960 low board. Normally, I will probably launch a long reverse X in this matchup, but because I haven't really seen my opponent launch a slide drop successfully from that side, so I decided to take my chance and actually launch in the middle, preserve more stamina without catching the rail. And because he wasn't really stalling on top of the X side or B side, he was not having the angle to strike me from above to really knock me out. And here, I was able to secure the spin finish as Wizard Rod's supposed to do against the Stamina Shark. After reshuffle, I had my AeroPegasus 760 Rush against his Wizard Rod 160 free ball. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but it seems like my opponent has the habit of launching at the rail and then allow his Beyblade to travel in a X dash that's halfway before he actually does his stall. So my attempt here was actually to snipe that, but unfortunately I didn't launch it hard enough to really hit him while he was doing that backward step. Although I got some decent hits in, it wasn't really enough to take down the Wizard Rod stamina combo, so here the score will be spin finish to him and 2-2. Here, Kane looks super serious. He seems to really want to end it here. And here we are, the Shark Scale 960 lower of him against my Wizard Rod 160 Hexa again. So running into this same matchup, I applied the same method to prevent my Wizard Rod catching the rail early in the game again, to preserve more stamina, and because King was still not really able to do a drop launch or a X-size drop, so as you can see, even though my Wizard Rod was knocked towards the rail and run a couple times, Wizard Rod generally will still have enough stamina to outspin the Shark Scale if it doesn't knock me out to the pocket. So here, I'm on game point, but because it's just the third bay of the reshuffle, I'm running my Shark Scale 360 kick against his Meteor Dragoon 770 level. So generally, I think my Shark Scale can beat most of the Meteor Dragoon combos, especially on the level build, but because I don't really want to take the risk of accidentally being hit to the overfinish pocket or extreme pocket by his meteor. I actually launch a little bit lighter, but then I position myself well enough to make sure the contact are all knocking me towards the shrouded stadium or the top side of the stadium instead of the lower side. So without the heavy hit from my shark scale and the spin steel mechanic from Meteor Dragoon, King was able to secure that last spin finish and put the score at 3-3, which choked me down to the last point before I lose this series. Tension is high. We're both at our reshuffle and deciding what we're gonna use for our last bait for this set. At this point, I'm thinking that he's just gonna run his Wizard Rod 163 ball. And because my Shark Scale and AeroPegasus have both failed to take down his rod, I decided to take my rod on 160 Hexa to face against his free ball combo. Because Wizard Rod on free ball build is normally a counter against the Hexa build due to having more stamina, I have to launch as hard as I can. And here I launch with a long reverse X right to potentially hit him from the top of the stadium, and luckily I hit him, but then even though I put him in the pocket, the one-sided ratchet was allowing him to hop out. But as you can see, I think he lost a bunch of stamina by me doing that. So that was actually a successful strategy from my end. With the judge further checking for air contact for this launch, here I actually secured that spin finish, and with the review, it was clean launch. So I tied the series at 1-1, and Kane decided to switch back to the B side. In the last set, we both started off with our Shark Scales. So it's a rematch for the first round of the first set. Knowing that his launch is gonna backward travel a little bit, I applied the same kind of launch tech with slide drop. So I actually backstepped it a little bit and then stall. But unfortunately, his shark kind of didn't catch the B-side rail and actually just knocked me in the overfinish pocket. So being down 0-2, and now on the second bay, I have my Wizard Rod 160 Hexa against his Wizard Rod 160 free ball. For this matchup, I attempted a slide drop to hit his rod into the pocket again like the previous match, but by him anticipating me doing that, I think he utilized the rail and bounced it off to strike me from the air. But luckily my rod was able to catch the X side rail and do a reverse X and still kind of hit him.
Down. Three balls going down. Spin finish.
And phew, a spin finish. Now I'm on the scoreboard on the last set. Third bay, I have my AeroPegasus 760 Rush against Kane's Meteor Dragoon 770 level.
3, 2, 1, shoot! Good launch. Oh!
We both have some decent hits, but I was able to stand till the end.
2-2.
Going 2-2 into a reshuffle means that this is the last time we're gonna shuffle our deck if the points all plays out by 1. So how we order this is actually gonna be very crucial to who takes over this series and win the whole set. So starting off, I have my Wizard Rod 160 Hexa, and he decided to run Meteor Dragoon 770 level. At this point, knowing my opponent doesn't know how to stall, I plan myself at the lower side of the stadium to preserve more stamina, but I actually got knocked into the pocket But thanks to the 160 ratchet, I was able to hop out. It was kind of funny how the judge told my opponent not to set way too early, because I think he was still in shock when he saw my wizard rod hop out of the pocket, thinking that he already won the game. Now I have my AeroPegasus against his wizard rod. So after multiple attempts of knocking his wizard rod out, I noticed that he's actually a very passive player, that he don't take much risk. With that in mind, my launch was slightly more passive but more controlled to give me a good chance at striking him and destabilizing him, but also controlled enough to make sure that I don't get recoiled off to the overfinish pocket or extreme pocket, which really wasn't enough to strike him down. Now this long series all come down to the last bay that we chose during our reshuffle and our ordering.
Leaders, last bay. Wait. You're shark. You're shark. It's third base, though. It's not a shuffle. Yeah. It's not a shuffle. Yeah, third base.
So interesting enough, it's Shark v Shark again. My opponent really wanted to use his Meteor Dragoon, thinking that he can reshuffle, but the judge reminded him it's only the last bay, but not a reshuffle. In this last launch, I decided to use a slide delay drop, which I hardly really use in the tournament setting. And even though it was intercepted, it actually still pushed him in the over pocket and scored me the point. And now we advance to semifinals. If you like my videos, please follow me and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.